What's up, guys? This is Coach Grant with First Down Training, and today we're going to be breaking down JUSTYN ROSS and his route running ability, guys. Today we're going to be talking about how to run a post out. I'm going to talk about a release you guys can use and how to be physical off the line. Then we're going to talk about how to make a cut in open field and what are some of the mechanics behind being an explosive cutter or just being able to make an explosive cut when you have the ball running after the catch. Okay, so the first route we're going to look at here is this post out. So let's watch it full speed and then we'll break it down, or commonly known as a blaze out. Okay, so let's watch it again here. So he comes off 3 steps to the inside, snaps those eyes, accelerates out, forces that DB to speed turn out of there, and then we make this play, right? So clearly he's an off situation, right? Off coverage, right? So it could be a couple different things. We could have an off man look here, more likely zone because he turns the face to the inside. So this is more like a zone coverage look, right? So we come off here and when we break to this post, right? It's so important that you snap your eyes, right? And everybody knows that anytime I'm working a post corner post, out and up, you snapping your eyes is one of the most important things. Now, another important thing to really alert this DB to this route is by committing your hips and committing your shoulders, but also your speed, right? Because what a lot of people don't understand is that they think, oh, if I just give my eyes, but I stand up and cruise, that's not going to do anything for this DB. That's not going to get this DB to drive on anything. You want to be a threat on this post as long as possible. You want him to think that you're getting this ball right off the break, so he reacts and jumps, because essentially if you're running a post right now, you're open. And the DB knows that. And the DB doesn't want to give up this throw in front of him, so he's going to be breaking on this ball fast. If I keep my same speed, if I pump my arm, you see how he's quick? 1, 2, 3. And now he puts the brakes on the third step. Now, one thing I see here is I would say he eases up a little bit with his pad level. He kind of leans his shoulders back. Now, when we lean back out of a break, sometimes that can make us slow, right? But you see how much this DB broke on this post because he committed his shoulders, because he committed his hips, and because he snapped his eyes back around. That's what leads you to separation. Now, in this situation here, we got to do our job of keeping separation. So my acceleration out of the break and how many steps I take when I'm coming out of this route is what's going to get me space here. So 1, 2, 3, and you see how it's a speed cut. Now, this is a pretty tough cut to do. This is a pretty tough route to run when you're just going off of a third step, right? It's easy to kind of snap down on this type of a deal here. But because he breaks off and goes 1, 2, 3 and just does a quick speed cut, it maybe cuts out time that he spends at the top of this break, okay? At the top of this route or at the break point of this route. So what that allows him to do is maybe to get out of this a little bit faster, really force that DB to have to speed turn out of there. So it's important. Again, the ball will be out on time, so we got to make sure that we do our job and win the race to this spot by pumping my arms and accelerating out of this thing to continue to get space from this DB. Great route here by JUSTYN ROSS. Let's watch this thing one more time. So he's coming off. Break, 1, 2, 3, out of there, very sudden, pump those arms, snap my head back when I'm running this out, and make this catch. So now we're going to be looking at like a 5-step release here. So he's going to be just going 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and it's going to get this DB leaning to the outside. I want you to see how physical he is with his off arm. Now, this would be a situation, fellas, where I got some time to work this release, right? This is not a situation where they need the ball to me fast. This is a situation where maybe I'm like the second or third progression, or maybe the quarterback's got some play action or something like that. But this release takes a little bit of time. So again, that's why having a high IQ is so important, right? Having a high IQ, knowing defenses, knowing coverages, and especially at the receiver position is so beneficial because you understand, okay, on this read, this is this coverage, so this is what they're going to do, right? And if you guys need help with that, just ask me a question in the comments and I'll send you a link to my site where we go over content just like that, how you guys can learn how to read coverages. So if you have questions about that, just leave that in the comments below this video. But another thing too, this is probably, again, like I said, second, third read situation, or maybe this is specific coverage, or it might take a little bit longer. We've seen it on film, right? A lot of situations apply. So this is not something you'd use if you were a first read. Now, when he comes off here, you're going to watch it again, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So he comes off of him, swats him off, being very physical with his hands that makes this catch. So let's break it down. So he comes off here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And now when we throw that 5th step, you see how much his upper half is turning and how quick his feet were, right? There was no dragging of his feet. I see people all the time, they do cuts side to side like a rocker step type move at the top of the route or like a double off the line, and all this turf is just kicking straight up in the air because they're just scraping their feet the entire time. But if your feet can be quick and you actually pick your feet up, you see how he's picking his feet up. His weight's always on the inside portion of his foot because that's what helps me push side to side. You see he commits those shoulders, and that's what gets this DB to lean. Now, This DB just wants to shuffle with us and wants to try to be as physical as possible. Now, when we get him to lean to the outside here, what arm do I have to beat? I know I just got to beat this inside arm because I want to take an inside release on this thing. So he throws that arm out there. What do? I'm physical with my off arm. I swat him by, and you see this is what I mean by his hips lock. You're physical and you hit that top shoulder, that arm, whatever it is. You get his hips to lock, you get him to be off balance, and then you get him to fall. That's a great job. It is a great release. It's a great way to get separation off the line when maybe it takes a little bit more time for the play to develop, or maybe we're not the first read on this play. So let's watch it again one more time. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, swat him off, then burst back upfield. Great route here by JUSTYN ROSS. Okay, so now the next clip we're going to be talking about here is how to run after the catch, and we're going to talk about how the mechanics are, like what are the mechanics of this cut. So you can see this thing here again is very sudden and just cuts, right? So now this is the same idea as like that post out that we were looking at about 2 clips ago, right? Where we're running full speed and then we just cut. Just right on a dime. Being able to cut on a dime is how you're going to be able to get separation, right? If you're running a post route, out route, slant, we want to make almost the same indicator cut, right? It's very sudden. Depending on the situation, we can mix it up. But when we're running with that, we're running after the catch with the ball and we want to put the brakes on, put a move on. It's very important that I'm sudden and that I have speed into this cut, right? A lot of people, when they go up to a cut, you see how Ross here is just very sudden with his feet. Just pop. And he's out of this break, gets that defender to shoot by, gets him to overcommit, and then he's able to burst up for a touchdown. You see how when he's coming up into this cut, he doesn't slow himself down. His feet don't get real choppy, right? That's the thing that you see a lot of young, not only receivers, but running backs, quarterbacks, anybody that runs with the ball, right before they make a cut, they get real choppy and their stride changes, and then they try to make a cut, and it's real long outside of their frame. Then they either get popped, they take a pretty good shot, or they don't get any space, and then they end up getting tackled, right? So this is something that you have to do anytime we're trying to throw a cut. I want to try to keep the same stride, keep the same pad level, keep the same speed, and then he puts the move on right here, throwing his upper half into this cut, being very sudden with his feet, right? He's not reaching for anything. You see how when he makes this cut, it's just in stride so that back leg doesn't drag behind him. He doesn't reach way outside of his frame and pick his chest back because that'll cause a long drag from his back toe, right? Now, there are a lot of people out there that'll disagree with the no drag thing. They think like, oh, the drag's a great way to slow you down, right? The drag is a way to get body control. But here's my whole thing with that. You don't need to drag to have body control. You don't need to drag your feet. You can just cut and be sudden with your feet. You can just drop your hips. You don't need to drag your entire back foot because in reality that just slows you down. Why not try to actually control your body? Use your hips or use the suddenness of your feet. Use opening up your hips rather than dragging your back foot to get you out of this break fast. The drag, yes, 100%. I think everybody can agree slows you down. Some people think it's for body control. I don't think you need it for body control. That's my personal opinion. I think you being able to stick underneath your frame, keep a good pad level, not lean back, that eliminates a drag. And I can just open up my hips, and you see he's already out running on this thing, and then he can burst up vertical. It's a great job here by Ross. Let's watch it full speed again one more time. Just pop. Get out of there. Great work here by Ross. It's a great job running after the catch. All right, guys, I really want to thank you for watching. I really appreciate it. Again, if you're a receiver and you want to get better football IQ, know how to read defenses, know how to read coverages, just leave in the comments any questions you guys have. I'll send you a link that'll take you to my site with all the information that you guys need. And if you have any questions as well, please leave those in the comments. I'll see you guys next time.